Back to a local AI story. Abu Dhabi-listed Presight AI says second quarter profit jumped 30% on contract renewals and an expanding international footprint. Revenue for the second quarter jumped 36% to 713 million dirhams. So joining me now to speak about those earnings is Pramotedham, CEO of Presight. Thomas, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us.
Always good to be here.
Congratulations on those earnings. Good numbers that came out this morning. Can you talk to us a little bit about what we saw there? What are the trends that you're witnessing?
I think what we saw in Q2, it's one of our strongest quarter. But what we saw in H1 as a whole, it's a demonstration of a business that's resilient and relevant, especially even now in the backdrop of such macro dynamics environment that we're in. We saw order book grew 44% year on year. This is not a phenomenon that just happened. It's something that we've built over time. And it's also a testament to what UAE is investing into AI. It's a testament to how clients are deploying AI. But it gives visibility to our business. And then you see broad-based growth. UAE domestic contracts renewal at record rates. We see new clients coming up, driven by UAE's leadership push to take on more agentic services across the government. You see the international landscape growing, Kazakhstan, Albania, and recently bringing on Montenegro. So conversations that are happening in the UAE, it's cascading down to the region. And even though we're in a conflict situation right now, we continue to see the application of AI and the desire to adopt and use AI to drive productivity, drive gains, and really measure the true impact of apply AI.
You brought it up, so that's a good thing. The conflict. Do you think that despite the conflict, we'll still see countries in the region, including the UAE, double down on AI and everything that it has to do with other companies in the UAE, including AIQ and your energy goals?
I certainly believe so, because AI drives productivity. It's not about manpower reduction. It's the true value of it. So conflict or no conflict, I think we need to continue to drive productivity. Second, the investment that UAE has taken into the infrastructure, into the ecosystem, into companies like Presight and G42 will continue to reap its rewards. Because it's not about just the technology to bring in, it's how you apply it. We'll apply it in the governments, we'll apply it in our national agencies, everything from crisis management to Department of Health to the General Secretary of the Cabinet, all applying AI to make citizen lives better, to find real value impact. And that is not shaped by just the conflict. Of course, the conflict casts a shadow over how fast we could go. But I think that momentum will continue.
And you brought up where you're involved, essentially. And look, everyone talks about AI and those models that keep emerging. But do you think that the more important question is, instead of focusing on smart AI models, it starts to tilt to an argument about who controls those models? And therefore, do you think that that puts a country like the UAE in a stronger position than one would think?
I think the way to distill it is there are foundation models that the big companies are building, and then there's domain intelligence models that are specific to it. I think what UAE has done very well is we invest in infrastructure. That's the compute we need to power any models. We adopt both foundation open models to apply it to the industries we're in. So for example, you talked about AIQ. AIQ didn't create a foundation model. We applied it to the energy sector. We talk about legislation. The government didn't apply and build a foundation legislation model. We applied to the UAE legislation framework that we launched in Davos this year. So it's the application of this specific domain models, which is what Presight has been focusing on, that is going to drive where we're going to get. Now, the foundation models will keep coming and will keep improving, both open source and closed source. The ability to adapt and use any models available to you is just how we work with the clients, and not designing something for the clients, but when you work with them to work through what is necessary for their business, for the outcomes they want to achieve. I think that is where UAE is going to find its strength and will continue to thrive.
Okay, and last time you were here, Thomas, you spoke about the partnership with AIQ and everything you're doing in that energy space. Can you talk to us a little bit more if that has expanded, or if you're looking at other companies within the UAE or abroad?
Well, definitely. And just on AIQ, I think AIQ continues to be a dominant player, an AI champion for both ADNOC and the UAE. We've yet to announce, but we have pilots that are now happening in Southeast Asia and Central Asia. Okay. Soon we'll announce deals that the solutions AIQ has deployed for ADNOC will now be used in other countries. So that's a straight path to expansion. Of course, Presight continues to expand our security and safe city business, smart city business, Financial services, we had a MOU signed with Banco Santander, which is very exciting because that's one that is focused on outcomes. So revenue-centric AI purpose for consumer journeys in the banking sector, away from not just in the UAE, but away in the shores into Europe, into Latin America. So that's an exciting piece for us to stay tuned on.
So you mentioned Asia. Would you consider doubling down on other geographies? What would be of interest to you? Would it be South or North?
Well, so right now, Southeast Asia, predominantly Vietnam, Malaysia, we have a very strong presence in the Balkans.
Okay.
So Albanian's smart city project is mid-flight. We just signed Montenegro. We see a lot of growth in the Balkans region. Central Asia continued to be a strong point. So Kazakhstan, our regional HQ, we've delivered strong projects. We're growing to Uzbekistan and Azerbaijan. So I see many growth areas, and a lot of them is at the pinnacle of adopting and applying AI to really change the way the government works, the communities are being served.
All right, Thomas, always a pleasure to speak with you, and congrats again on the earnings.
Thank
Thomas
you.
Pramotedham, CEO of Presight.